Let's talk about when things go wrong with our kid, when we lose it or they lose it. Now, sometimes my patients will come into me and they'll say things like, oh, you know, I hope the neighbours can't hear the way I scream at my kids all the time. We often perceive our relationship with our child in a very negative way. We're hearing mostly the bits where it goes wrong. And you may not be screaming at your kid as much as you think. So of course our perception of the way we can relate to our children can sometimes be in a very negative way. But if we are securely attached to our child, if they are connected to us emotionally, then when they have what's called an emotionally challenging event, they can actually look to us for guidance. So for example, a toddler or a small child is on a bicycle or a tricycle and runs into the tree and hurts themselves in a minor way. They might turn around and look to mum and say, you know, what do you think? And mum goes, oh no, and you know, the child may be more likely to get upset themselves. If the mother has like a, it's okay, don't worry about it sort of reaction, then that child may be less likely to get upset and to cry. So they can look to us for guidance emotionally, and it requires them to be emotionally connected to us for that to happen, to be tuned into each other, so that they can walk a little bit in our shoes emotionally and that we can walk a little bit in their shoes emotionally. And that's kind of what we want. But of course there are going to be situations where rage does happen, where there is a tantrum, and that can either be from the child or from the parent. So let's talk about the parents today. For us grown-up people, when we lose it emotionally, that can be very confusing. We don't really understand when our brain is working in this illogical sort of non-thinking sort of way. And afterwards we can sort of think, well, why did I do that? Why did I scream at her? Why did I hit her? Why did I over-punish in that ridiculous way? You know, we were confused as to why we did this 5 seconds earlier. If you think of grown-ups in a road rage situation, you know, they will afterwards they'll be going, I can't believe I did that. And they may well have, when you've overreacted to your child, you may well have afterwards go, I feel bad about myself. Why do I do this as a parent? And you may have guilt and shame about the way you might have just reacted seconds earlier. So what do we do? If we can see it coming, if we can feel that we're going to lose it, we're going to hit, we're going to scream when we don't want to, we're maybe even with babies being shaken, put the baby down and walk away. Retreat from the child that's really pressing your buttons and getting under your skin. Just walk into the next room. While you're doing this, while you're trying to calm down, it's very important that you don't physically touch your child while you're angry. We see this, you know, you might see this in a supermarket or a playground where a parent will have a vice-like grip on the child's arms as they're talking through gritted teeth. So make sure that if you are going to touch your child, you are fully calm before you do that. Now, as well as calming down, we can then think about going back afterwards and actually apologise. Now, we're not apologising for the fact that we got annoyed about the actual trigger. We're apologising for our behaviour, that our rage, our shouting, our anger is actually what we're apologising for, not so much the content. So there's no room for false pride here. In fact, if you're able to do this, you're actually going to model humility to your child, which of course is a very good thing. So it is actually repeated meltdowns and overreactions without remedy that actually lead to a damaging of the relationship between you and your child. And of course that is what we don't want. So learning how to sort out and remedy and fix your own tantrums and meltdowns is a very important thing.